Constructing a coral nursery. Before we start, it is important to know that what you see in this video is only one way that you can do this work. If you don't have all the tools or materials available, feel free to use whatever is around. There is more than one way to do this incredible work.
Constructing an A-frame nursery. A-frame nurseries are used to plant corals on a rocky ocean floor. So how do we build the A-frame nursery? Basically, we use heavy floor mesh wire. We usually cut the full-length mesh wire into 4. We have 3 people on one side, using your feet to anchor one side down, pulling from the other side, pushing it down to kind of give it that A-frame shape. Then basically what you want to do after that is get it rusty. So how we usually do it here is we usually put it in the ocean. Once the mesh wire is rusty, we bring it back up on land. We use rust kill, or you can use marine epoxy just to coat the mesh wire, and then it's ready to be used. To turn our A-frames into a nursery, we need 2 3-meter rebars that are around 18 millimeters thick. You will also need 8 1-meter rods and 4 pieces of rock or cement to anchor the nursery down. To construct the A-frame nursery, place 2 A-frames 3 meters apart. Use the 2 3-meter rebars to connect the A-frames. Zip tie them together like this. Now we anchor our A-frames by connecting 2 1-meter rods to each end of our A-frame. We cable tie the rods to the A-frame like this. We then place a heavy rock or cement on the bars like this. Repeat for both A-frames. Next, we attach 6 ropes, each containing 8 corals. To populate the ropes with corals, we twist open the rope, we insert the coral, and then we close the rope back up. Repeat this process for each coral. Use coral fragments, which are approximately 15 to 20 centimeters. You should use corals which look the same on each rope. The rope should be approximately 30 centimeters apart. Now we populate the outer side of the A-frames with our corals. We do this by zip tying corals onto the cross-section of the A-frame, making sure not to populate the corals on the inner side of the A-frame because it interferes with the corals on the ropes. We also leave the bottom bar of the A-frame empty because the corals touch the ocean floor and die. Now you have a completed A-frame nursery.
Constructing a rope and table nursery. A rope and table nursery is used to grow corals on a sandy area. To construct a rope and table nursery, you'll need 10 3-meter rods which are 18 millimeter thick. From the 10 bars, bend 4 into a U shape like this. We use this pipe to bend the rod. You will now need mesh to fit on top of your U-shaped bars. You'll now take the materials that you have into the water. The first thing you will do is you will lay everything out on the sand. You will now knock the U-bars into the sand, alternating sides to keep it level. Now you'll use one of your 3-meter rebars to measure out the distance to your next U-bar. Once you have measured out the distance, you can knock in your second U-bar. We always make sure that there is a little overhang on each side. We now zip tie the rods to the U-bars to form a table. Now we're going to get our mesh and put it on top of the table structure. Using cable ties to secure it. We need to use long cable ties to crisscross so it's more stable. Where possible, avoid using wide cable ties as they break down faster. You will now build an identical table 3 meters apart from your first table. Finally, we connect the tables using the 3-meter rods. If you feel the table structure is unstable, you can use support beams like this. To populate the nursery, we'll use 15 to 20 centimeter coral fragments on ropes. To attach the coral to the ropes, we want to twist open the rope and insert the coral and then close it. We want to use around 8 fragments per rope. We'll use 6 ropes, 30 centimeters apart. We then tie the ropes on the nursery structure. Some coral fragments grow well on cement cookies. You can place 10 cookies on each table. Your rope and table nursery is now complete.
Constructing cement cookies. Cement cookies are round discs that we use to grow corals. To make cement cookies, we first need to mix the cement. The ratio we use is 3 parts cement, 2 parts sand, and enough water to make it this consistency. One of the tricks that we use to find out the right consistency of the cement cookies that we're making is to throw up the ball that you've made in your hand, and if it doesn't break off and it's still intact, then it's good. We now grab a handful of cement and mold it into a ball in your hand, put it down on a flat surface and tap on the top until it's round and flat. We want your cement cookies to be roughly this big. One of the most important things you need to do before your cement cookie hardens, you need to make 4 holes in it. Over the next 2 days, we use fresh water to wet the cookies twice a day, morning and afternoon, to make sure the cement cookies are hard. Your cement cookies are now ready to have corals attached to them. We do this using fishing line or cable ties. And that's how we make cement cookies. Constructing fish houses. Fish houses are structures that we use in nurseries to attract fish. To build fish houses, we start by mixing cement. The ratio we use is 3 parts cement, 2 parts sand, and enough water to make it this consistency. Now it's time to collect limestones or rocks if that's not possible. We arrange the limestones or rocks in a circle, forming the base of your fish house. We use the big rocks for the base of the fish house. We then connect the rocks using cement. We now continue to construct a layer of limestone or rocks with cement holding it together, making sure to leave enough holes and hiding spots for the fish to swim into the fish house. You can now finish by cementing a cement cookie on top of the fish house, or you can just leave it open. We water the fish houses twice a day for the next week before deploying them out in our nurseries. Once the fish houses are in the nursery, you can now plant a coral on top. That's how you make fish houses.